Welcome everybody, you're watching Mindset Monday. I'm Lewis Haydon and this is Andy Hemming. Okay, so we go into business with some pretty big goals in mind. We're going to start something new, we're going to go out there, try something new and make sure it happens. But who's keeping you accountable? Who's holding you against that flame to grow and develop into this new entrepreneurial business owner? Andy works with a lot of clients from businesses that are looking to take their business to the next level. So he's used to holding people against the flame, keeping them accountable. If you say you're going to do it and you have a goal, it keeps you at it until you get there. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Should I ask your clients that?
Yeah, why not? I mean, the thing is, it's really important, isn't it? We come into business with this mindset of achieving something big, potentially. And then, isn't it interesting how we sometimes get knocked off our perch and start moving into protective mode instead?
Yeah.
You know, it's very easy to lose sight of those big goals and let the knocks derail us and actually sort of take our confidence away and stop us from maintaining those big goals, if you like, and disappear back into smaller ones which seem more achievable. But I suppose what that really leads us to is, you know, sitting in our comfort zone. And for me, comfort zone's one of the most dangerous places to be, because if we're in our comfort zone, we're definitely not growing. And we all know the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So we've got to get out of our comfort zone to grow. And I think that, you know, there's this whole concept, we call it perturbation, when perturbation kicks in. And really what that means is we get started on our journey and then we start to come up against some resistance. And essentially we allow that resistance to derail us. And maybe that resistance is fear of the unknown. Maybe it's that we feel like we're being a bit overwhelmed. Maybe it's just that we're not sure what's the next step to take. And as a consequence, you know, we turn the heat back down on ourselves and go back to where we started, rather than actually pushing and breaking through. And we call that perturbation. You know, it's one of my favourite concepts, because how often do we hit that point of perturbation? It's really worth recognising.
Do you notice a difference in clients? Is there like certain traits or behaviours that a certain client will have? You know straight away that client can cope with bigger goals, or do you think that smaller goals being set more often? What do you find motivates them the most?
I think it's very person dependent, isn't it? You know, some people really respond well to big goals. Some people do massive overwhelm with big goals. Some people just do better with small steps. The thing is, you know, it depends what perspective we look at the world from. Some people have a very global perspective, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, so they're very big picture thinkers. Some people start down in the detail and have to build up to the big picture. So I think both work. It's recognising where you're strongest. But if you think about it, we have this tendency to be either global or detail thinkers. So we've either got to, if we've got teams in place and we're global, we've actually got to chunk it down so that they understand it. Or if we're detail thinkers, we've got to chunk it up so everybody can see where we're actually going. And I think, you know, if we don't do that, then we're setting a recipe for perturbation again, because people won't know where to move to, so they'll get to a point and stop and turn around because they won't want to make a mistake or don't know where they're going and are fearful of doing the wrong thing. So, you know, hence setting a goal to stay the same again.
Okay guys, we'll have a quick break now, but after the break we'll talk more about reaching that point of perturbation and how we can actually break through it to get to those goals that we set ourselves.
How far are you going to take your business? The content you're learning in this video is only the tip of the iceberg. If you're ready to take your business to the next level and start implementing the right strategies that are right for you, then now is the time to book your complimentary coaching session. In the session, we explore what strategies will get you to where you want to be in the most effective way possible. Book your coaching session today. Call 01527 757 910 or visit goodtogreat.actioncoach.co.uk.
My turn, because I'm going to flip it around this time and ask the questions. So
Put me on the hot spot.
Put him on the hot spot, absolutely. So, I mean, obviously we've got Lewis sitting here, who was a client back in the day, and as a result probably hit perturbation in the business, you know. So I think what the best thing for me to do is actually turn around and ask Lewis to give me an example of perturbation. Now he actually broke through it, so off you go.
That's right. I mean, when I first met Andy, we had these big new visions and goals into the company. The company had been where it was for quite a long time, and we wanted to really take it to that next level. But, you know, we was never satisfied with the same profits and the same sales each year. So we wanted to take it to the next stage. So Andy introduced us to a formula, B times do equals have. You can see it in some of the other videos as well.
Yeah.
So we had the have there, the big vision and the goals, but we need to start learning, doing the be more. So going out there, learning from the audiobooks, learning from Andy's coaching, all the different strategies to go into place. That was perturbation in its own right, because to actually accept that there's some new learning out there that can help the business was perturbation. Originally we thought we knew it all, but if we knew it all, we'd be where we wanted to be. So after we've learned some of the learning, we have to start doing some of the doing too. So Andy then held us to the flame. It was like, okay, you learnt the stuff, but now you got to go out there and do it. I mean, it's swore then, yeah.
Yeah.
So that perturbation came from there, really. You would, like, as the coach, would come in and say, look, you've said do this, you haven't done it. And then like a week later, you haven't done it again, Lewis. Come on, you're saying you're doing it. You want these goals. So Andy was holding us to the flame then to make sure that it made it happen. So for perturbation, for me, it made me sweat a little bit. But yeah, it breaks through eventually, and breaking that comfort zone, always pushing to that next level. What's it going to take to actually get that have? Who do you need to become? And what do you need to be doing differently, the behaviours around it, to get to that next stage?
Yeah, and you made a really good point there. Make the vision big enough that the discomfort is unimportant, you know. If you really want to go there, I mean, don't be times don't do equals don't have.
Exactly, yeah.
Be times don't do equals don't have. So we have to put this whole combination together, you know. It's about do the learning, and if the learning's out there and it says that it works, then the only question that you have to answer for yourself is, how do I make this work for me when I do it?
Yeah.
And that's the point at which perturbation can kick in. But, you know, my default position with this is if somebody else has, you can too.
Yeah.
So it's just about how do we make it work for you. And that's the benefit of being held to the flame, I guess, because you have to hold it to the flame until you work it out. Sometimes that takes a bit longer. Sometimes it happens really quickly, but at the end of the day, what it creates is a difference in results, which creates, a difference in behaviour, which creates a difference in results. So perturbation is certainly worth recognising and certainly worth breaking through.
That's right, yeah. And if you ever see the Steve Jobs movie, there's a saying he says right at the end, that every time you walk down the street and you see something's been created, it could be a car, it could be a house, it could be some technology, whatever it may be, that has been designed and created by somebody.
Yeah.
So you have the potential to go out there and do anything that you want.
Yeah.
It all depends on how much you actually want to make it happen.